I have one word for you. Kale. It's all the rage. It seems like every food blogger, celebrity chef, and cookie magazine is all over it these days. But even so, a lot of people don't have any idea of what to do with it. Well, never fear, because on today's episode of Back to the Kitchen, I'll show you my favorite ways to cook with kale, and perhaps you'll even be inspired to invent your own recipes using this magnificent green leafy wonder. I'm Nancy Newcomer. I'm a mom, a cook, and a food blogger. Over the years, I've received many letters from fans and followers asking my advice on how to improve their cooking and eating habits without spending too much time in the kitchen or busting their family's weekly budget. I'm here to share my favorite tips, tricks, and insider secrets for preparing healthy dishes cooked with fresh, organic ingredients and made from real food. And hopefully, I will inspire you to get back to the kitchen. Hi everyone, welcome to the show. I'm here in my kitchen in Santa Barbara, and we've got today's letter from Monica in Austin, Texas. She writes, "Dear Nancy, I love the taste of kale and I use it daily in my salads." Very impressive. "I know it's really good for me and I'd love to eat it more often, but I don't know what else to do with it. Do you have any ideas? Thanks, Monica." Oh my God, Monica, you are a girl after my own heart. I love that you love kale. It's awesome. It's one of my favorites. We are going to explore my 3 favorite recipes. I'll share those with you today. One of my most popular recipes is kale chips. Let me show you how I make mine. First of all, I really like using parchment paper. I don't know if you've ever cooked with it before, but it really makes a nice surface for on top of your baking sheet, and your kale chips will not stick to it. They'll just pop right off at the end. So I like to fit that into my cookie sheet here, get that all ready. Now, there are so many different types of kale. For kale chips, I prefer the lacinato kale. It's also known as Tuscan kale. It's also known as dinosaur kale. You'll recognize the leaves. They're bumpy and they're long and they're beautiful and dark green. And the key to making great kale chips, make sure they are completely washed and completely dry. So what I like to do is cut the stem away. I take my knife and go to the center of the stem and probably go about 2/3 or 3/4 up and pull that off. I actually save these for stock at a future use. And then it kind of looks like that. I throw these in a little bowl. We got a couple of them cut already. And it's just a great way to get a nice long surface for your chips. All right, so we've got a few of those in there. We're gonna just add a little tiny bit of olive oil. Really not much. If you use too much, they can get a little bit soggy. So this is probably the equivalent of a teaspoon or 2. And then you gotta toss them, okay? Try to get them as evenly saturated as possible. Then pretty much just lay them out on your parchment paper. It really doesn't matter if the bottom side's up or the top side's up. They pretty much cook okay either way. And once you get these all arranged, you pop them in the oven. Make sure that you've preheated your oven to 275, and then pop them in, cook them for about 20 minutes. After you take your kale out of the oven and let it cool, you can spice it up with a little sea salt or try any other creative spices as well. You could use turmeric, paprika, pepper, anything you like. You can break them up into pieces and arrange them in a nice bowl and serve them for your family and friends, and they're a great healthy alternative to potato chips. Next, I'm going to show you my green smoothie. Now, I know some people are a little timid when it comes to trying these green smoothies, but I gotta tell you, this one is great. And Monica, since you already love kale, you're going to just absolutely adore this recipe. Super easy. We're gonna take a cup of water, and I love pouring it in these blenders because there's a measurement mark right there. It's the 1 cup mark. We're going to add some cucumber, fresh kiwi slices, a little banana to give it a hint of sweetness. Also, just about a 1/4 of a fresh avocado, and that's going to give it this lovely creaminess. We're going to put some fresh celery in there. And let's blend these ingredients, and then we're going to add the kale and the ice. Okay, let's try this. Ooh, it smells really good. All right, are you brave? Do you want to try it? I'm going to take a taste. It's really good. It just has a hint of sweetness from that banana. The kale is in there with the other vegetables. This is the most super healthy drink you can have, and it's full of your favorite kale. Finally, I'm going to show you my kale omelet. This is absolutely the easiest thing you can make. We're going to start with a kale saute, and then we're going to do our eggs, and we're going to combine everything together. Let's go to the stove and start sauteing the veggies. We're ready for the saute. We're going to add a little bit of butter, just a skosh. Get that all around the pan so we're nice and even. So first we're going to add our onions. That's probably about a half an onion slice. You know, you could dice them, slice them, however you like them. And I want to just get those a little translucent before I add the kale. And now we're going to add the kale. I like to slice it up finely. Really cooks nice when it's sliced up like that. I do leave the center stem. This is the dinosaur kale. I actually prefer the taste of this. You can try your purple kale, your Russian kale, there's even a black kale. Definitely worth exploring your farmer's market. This is looking really good. As you can see, it's reduced quite a bit. I like to take it out before it's totally brown because I don't like it overdone. Okay, we finished with the saute. Now it's time for the eggs. We are using a pan with a little bit of butter here, just a smidge. And we'll get that all evenly coated. When I pour my eggs in the pan, I like to keep whisking them. I don't know if it really does anything, but it's kind of fun. All right, there we go. Aren't those pretty? Beautiful. And we're gonna get this all around the pan. We gotta watch it carefully so we don't overcook it. Okay, it's looking good. We're gonna add a little kale saute to our omelet here. And you know what? This is going to be a big omelet because I like to load it down with the kale. Okay. Let's see, that's coming off the edge pretty well. You know what? It's a little tricky, but I think we're gonna get it. As you can see, it's not picture perfect, but we're gonna make it taste great. Let's add a couple of heirloom tomatoes. These are gonna make this baby beautiful. We're gonna sprinkle a little bit of feta cheese on top. And one of my favorite things to do is sprinkle a little paprika. We got a little turmeric. Look at the colors. Is this amazing? And I picked some fresh parsley from the garden, so we've got that too. A little fresh cracked pepper, a little sea salt, and a little topper, and we're good to go. Monica, my dear lover of kale, I hope I've inspired you to try just a few new things with kale other than just a salad. I think there's some great ideas and I'd love to hear what you come up with. Make sure you take a picture. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you have a question that you'd like answered, please send it in and you might just see it on an upcoming episode. Until then, remember, for a happy, healthy life, cook real food, share a meal with family and friends, and get back to the kitchen. On the next episode of Back to the Kitchen, are you tired of spending money on your favorite fruits and vegetables only to have them go bad before you have time to eat them all up? We've got a solution. It's time to fill up that freezer.